I want to begin this story by the news that I heard from a doctor in regards to my husband. My husband was a doctor. He'd been married for 8 years. And the C word that everybody is afraid of came into my life. And I had 2 girls, one 5 and one 4. The diagnosis was in March, and he was gone the 1st of August. I was going to be married 100 years to one man, and all of a sudden, my life is completely reversed. So what do? You go through the pain, you go through the mourning, you go through life. But what I did, I rebelled and I blamed God. I said, why did you take my husband? I was going to have a perfect life. And so I rebelled. But you know what? Doesn't matter if you rebel. God is still there with you. He will bring you back to where you need to be. So one day when I was in bed, sick, my girlfriend, who'd been baptized in the Holy Spirit, came by, brought me a whole big stack of books. Read these, she said. It's great. So I did, I read them. And on my back in bed, I was there and I laid and I said, Lord, if this is what my soul has been searching for, would you please grant this to me? And all of a sudden, I heard these words. I looked to the right, I looked to the left, I looked up there, and I thought somebody else was in the room. But you know what? God answered my prayer. He granted what I said, if this is what my soul is searching for. And it was there. And so, then about 3 or 4 weeks later, I went to a seminar, and this lady was talking. She said, if you have envy, jealousy, bitterness in your life, God can't use you. And the bitterness hit me. I said, Lord, please forgive me. Forgive me. So what I did, I went home for 2 weeks. I got down on my knees and I said, Lord, I want to die to self. You know, it's interesting. If you aren't in church and you don't learn about the baptism, you don't learn about dying to self, the Holy Spirit will bring it to you for His purpose in your life, for your growth. And so at the end of 2 weeks, I said, Lord, please take it. I want to die to self. I want you to guide me through life. And that's when I had that total peace that came into my life. God is so good. He will be with you, and He will go through these with you, and you'll come out the other end, and you'll be a better person. Through the tragedy, there's joy, there's greatness. My daughters, they were only 4 and 5. I was a school teacher. I finally went back to teaching, and therefore, I had my parents that gave up their lives, that came and lived with me to take care of me. So all the blessings I had that were there, my parents came to help me to get through this. I went to teach, and the girls had come to teach with school with me, and as a result, I didn't have to have a babysitter. So there's blessings through the tragedy. But God is faithful. He is faithful at all times. And so all I can say is follow Jesus, be obedient, seek His face, read His word, pray, and He will bring you through. And He is a loving God, and if you take A instead of B, He will take your hand, and He will lead you down the path of righteousness. Praise His holy name. He is such an awesome God. And I'm Treva Clark, and that's my story.